Welcome back, Cricbuzz chatter at the end of day 3 of this test match. A day when a lot seemed to happen, but New Zealand still ended significantly ahead. Let's just put the numbers in perspective before we go across to Simon Doull. A game of two halves, really. 132 scored in the first session, then India labouring another 144, still 39 behind, and New Zealand's tail wagged. How often have we heard that? And there you go, New Zealand once again in a good position. Actually, it started so well for India, did it? I mean, I thought that first ball from Bumrah was sensational. You got a good batsman out, edging straight away up front. Another wicket goes down thereafter. What did you make of that tail wagging?
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? I mean, you've got to have certain bowlers in your side to just get rid of the tail. And I thought Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Shami would be the two. I'm not sure Ishant Sharma would be my first go-to man to get rid of the tail. You need quick bouncers or good Yorkers. And Bumrah and Shami, to me, possess both those. So they are the two guys I would have looked at and thought would run through that New Zealand tail. Kyle Jamieson, though, is a very good player. Used to be an opening batsman at younger age cricket when he was about 5'8", not 6'8". He was an opening batsman and can certainly play. And then, just the way that Colin de Grandhomme approached his innings too, I thought was good. And Trent Boult, you just don't know where to bowl to Trent Boult. He's so unorthodox. He'd be leg side, offside, you name it. And he just wielded that willow today and got away with it. So those were so crucial, those runs at the back end.
Yeah, because it's tending to become a template almost when India travel, and that meant that the lead was 183, lost an opener early, that never helps. But there's always contrasting thoughts on Pujara's approach. It's an approach that's worked well for him, an average of around 15 test match cricket. But the thing is, if you played 78, 80 balls to score 11, then you make one mistake, you've not got the scoreboard to move. So you're really punting on yourself not to make that mistake and then convert that 11 to 100, which he's done in all fairness to him. But on a day like this, you make one mistake and the scoreboard hasn't moved.
Yeah, it hasn't moved. And also what you're doing, you're frustrating the guy at the other end because you're not even turning the strike over. You're not picking up the ones, the twos every now and then and just turning that strike over and making sure that you're facing different bowlers time and time again. I didn't think it was a great innings from Pujara today. It just seemed to me to bog New Zealand down. It was a bit like Henry Nicholls' innings yesterday.
Yes.
I thought he was partly to blame for the reason that Kane Williamson actually got out in the end because he just got himself bogged down and didn't do the New Zealand batting order any help at all. So not a good one from Pujara today. I don't think he assessed the situation well enough.
Right, in the hot spot, Dooley, this is something to put on your analytical thinking hat. Virat Kohli, one of the best batsmen in the world, and when you are one of the best batsmen in the world, or like Bumrah, when you're one of the best bowlers in the world, you attract more attention, even if you've gone through a little phase without scoring runs. But I've been very interested in the way New Zealand have bowled to him, just swinging that ball fourth stump away, leaving it, or what the West Indies did, and I first saw that back in 2017, when they were bowling short to Virat Kohli. So they've got a plan. One plan to bowl just outside off, one plan to bowl short.
Yeah, and it's working, isn't it? It's worked really well. And he's searching. Virat Kohli's just searching for the middle of the bat. He's searching for the ball. We saw that in that first innings, Harsha, when he chased a really wide one from Kyle Jamieson, un-Kohli-like. But in Mumbai, in Kolkata, other places in India, that just cruises through the covers for 4 because it doesn't do anything off the seam and doesn't keep moving. Those sorts of things in New Zealand are going to get you out. He wasn't quite ready for that pull shot tonight either, I don't think. He was a little bit late on it, picked up the edge, and he's gone, 20 innings now, I think, and they'll be counting them. Everyone will be counting them in international cricket without 100.
Yeah, the great perils of being Virat Kohli. Someone else doesn't go 20 innings without 100, that's all right, but you're Virat Kohli. I thought Mayank Agarwal batted well too. Couple of interesting DRS calls. The one against Mayank Agarwal, just a little feather. Do you think there was enough evidence to say it came off the bat and not the bat hitting the ground, or was that a little later?
I don't think he hit it. Honestly, I don't think he hit it. I know he hit the ground. There wasn't anything on hot spot. There was a little noise that matched up, but I think the noise that matched up was actually the bat hitting the turf and not the ball. To me, I don't know. I know there's a protocol that the umpires go through and they have a run sheet, and if one doesn't look right, then they go to the next one, and if that looks right, then all they're looking to do is stay with the on-field umpire. They're not actually looking to make the right decision. They're looking to stay with the on-field umpire's call, and that's where you have those little problems with the DRS. I don't think he hit it, but hey, I wasn't in the third umpire's chair.
The interesting one was against Pujara. I mean, you have to go with all the evidence. In this case, there was no hotspot. In the Pujara case, clearly the ball has hit the arm pad, but there was no evidence to suggest it might have taken a bit of glove along. So what was interesting for all of us was, what if the decision was out in the first place? Was there enough evidence to overturn? And so that gets DRS in the picture again.
Yeah, I don't think there would have been the evidence to overturn, but I do think that one was spot on. And I will say that I think the process was followed perfectly, and that one was absolutely right. I had no issue with that whatsoever. And I think, we've got three very good umpires here too, Harsha.
Yeah.
Arlene Dara is very good. Richard Kettleborough up at the top of the tree. And I'm very impressed with Michael Goff. He's an umpire on the rise, and I don't think he's too many years away from possibly being in the top 1-2 umpires in the world.
But did India almost make heavy weather of batting? Was it scoreboard pressure? Because from what we were watching on television, it didn't seem to be doing a lot. That track, it's as you said at the start of the game, it's just starting to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, it's. I don't think it's as bad a track or as tough a track as it was in the first innings. That's for sure. I was kind of thinking and maybe hoping from an Indian point of view that Prithvi Shaw would be the one to get them off to a decent start and just ease a bit of that pressure that is going to go onto the dressing room. And he didn't. Therefore, there was no runs on the board, and it just became a difficult bit of a fight. And then when Virat Kohli went, obviously things are going to slow down as well. So, look, it's a tough thing to get out of from here. I can't see India getting out of it now. I said last night, if they'd restricted that lead to 115, 120, 130, they're in the game. I just look at this now and I think unless Ajinkya Rahane gets 200, they're out of the game.
Let's look ahead, fast forward to start of day 4. I thought India's best chance in this game was if they could have crossed the total 3 down, say Kohli and Rahane both set, and then get a lead of about 200, 220. But it's imperative that these two put on at least another, 120, 130, take India 100 ahead, then hope that Pant plays the kind of innings that he's been picked for.
Yeah, 100%. If they can get anything above 200, they're in the game. But anything under 200, I think New Zealand are going to have to play very poorly, and India are going to have to bowl exceptionally well.
Right, so there you are. That's the feeling. New Zealand way ahead. Fourth day finish. Simon Doull, you're never one to shy away from these calls. Fourth day finish, you think?
Asha, I haven't booked my flight, but I have got my travel agent on speed dial.
Your travel agent is always on speed dial, but excellent. My gut feel is a fourth day finish, but we'll wait and see. If it goes into fifth day, it means India have batted really well and brought themselves back into the game. We'll talk to Simon Doull at the end of day 4. Thanks, Simon, for joining us.